Hello ladies and gents, and you join me on St Bride's Avenue, standing in the churchyard of St Bride's, and this is the Old Bell Inn, or the Old Bell Pub, and this was built in the years just after the Great Fire of London by Sir Christopher Wren for his workers that were building St Paul's Cathedral. It's a Grade 2 listed pub. I'll show you this side of it first because this is my favourite side on St Bride's Avenue, which if you've watched St Bride's Church and the Journalists Pub, you'll have seen the walk down that. So yeah, the Old Bell, and we'll be going down there in a minute and inside for a drink. And it's snowing in London, and we shall go in to a Wren era pub. Obviously it's had renovations in the Victorian times, as you can see by the tiling and stuff. It really is a beautiful pub, and on a cold day like this you will enjoy what's inside. This is the saloon bar. And before we skedaddle off for our historic images, I'll show the front side of it on Fleet Street. You'll see it looks quite modern. That's why I chose to show the back side of it first. Looking down Fleet Street towards the Old Bailey and St Paul's in a snowy London. It's snowing today, so Ye Old Bell Tavern. I hope you all enjoyed. And now for our historical images. And now for our historical look back. The history of the Old Bell, although it's a post-Great Fire pub built by Sir Christopher Wren, as we'll find out in a minute, it goes back further than that, because there has been a pub on this site long before the Great Fire as well, which was called the Sign of the Rising Sun. Now, and this is where our famous man here comes in, Wynkyn de Worde. He trained under Master Caxton, who was the first man to print the printed word in England. But Wynkyn de Worde here located himself from Caxton's workshop and moved to Fleet Street, and he was the first to set up a printing press on Fleet Street in 1500, which for centuries became synonymous with printing. And here he is himself, Wynkyn de Worde. And you note the top middle symbol, the sun, the sign of the rising sun. That's where Wynkyn de Worde set up his first printing press, at the pub that was here previously before the Bell. The Rising Sun, or the sign of the Rising Sun pub, would be wiped away by the Great Fire of London, along with so many other buildings. And herein comes our man Sir Christopher Wren, who had the current pub built for his workers who were rebuilding St Bride's, and then would move on to the rebuilding of St Paul's Cathedral, as well as other London churches. There are a couple of other pubs around the area that were built by Wren as well for his workers, so I'll cover those after our Samuel Pepys Fest. Just a little bit of information on the brass plaque about it. Pause to read if you want. St Bride's that we see here, this is it in its plaid stage. A great church by Sir Christopher Wren, severely damaged in the war, as we'll find out in our tour of that when we get round to it. But this is really one of the reasons why our pub was built, this church. And this trade card of Thomas Searles, saddler at the Bell and Bull on Fleet Street, tells us that the pub was originally named the Bell and Bull, and this is his trading card from circa 1700. A horse-drawn omnibus makes its way down Fleet Street towards Ludgate Hill, with the Old Bell on the right. This is circa 1880s, this picture here. Horse-drawn omnibus, and you can see with the blue arrow we're pointing out the pub. And you can see, look, Ludgate and the old train bridge that no longer exists, that's taken away, and St Paul's in the distance. Our next image shows the rear of the pub where I began our tour, and from where I began our tour, from in St Bride's churchyard, 1926. This one, so hasn't changed too much, the exterior. This one from 1941, men and women stop to look at the headlines as they pass a newsstand on London's Fleet Street. The Old Bell Tavern is visible on the right of the photograph, springtime 1941. And this shows the old frontage, because the Fleet Street frontage of the pub was badly damaged in the war, hence the post-war look that we see in the tour as we ended off on a snowy Fleet Street. This is wartime Fleet Street. A great little image once the pub was rebuilt and patched up, or not rebuilt but patched up. British actress Violet Carson, 1898 to 1983, celebrates her OBE with a pint at the Old Bell pub on Fleet Street in London. 21st of October 1965, she received her award at Buckingham Palace that morning. So, she obviously liked to enjoy herself in a down-to-earth way. And these are a couple of images that just show
1950s to 60s that show the new frontage as it was rebuilt, patched up after the war. Here you see this is 60s or 70s, I believe, this image, and you see the frontage there, and it has plain glass with the bullseyes in it, and that has nowadays been replaced with this lovely piece of stained glass, the Old Bell Tavern. Hope you all enjoyed the tour of this one, ladies and gents. Thanks very much for watching. And now we are in the parish of St Bride's. This will begin our next video, which is beginning in the footsteps of Samuel Pepys. So that will be St Bride's Church, so look out for that one.